Alrighty, I'm going to have a quick go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Friday, December 22nd. I'm not going to spend too long on it, but I did take a look at the first one. Now, and I also remembered to look at who the setter is, Brendan, because Brendan refers to him or herself in the first clue, Polish, which of course they want us to think Polish, but Polish. Bilingual Brendan follows in US City 3-5. Well, the first one I thought was Las Vegas, but then I thought of San Diego, realizing that sand could be a synonym for polish. And then we have I in English and ego in Latin. So that is how Brendan might refer to himself bilingually to get San Diego. So let's see if that's enough to get me going. Name for hill in Rome in a Latin exam initially. Under pressure. Well, initially makes me think we're going to be using starting letters, but it's not going to be the whole phrase. But it does say in a Latin exam, under pressure. Yeah, so, but name, of course, could be N. I think the whole thing is going to mean under pressure. Curious why there are two dashes there. Maybe they always do that, but it just looks odd. Under pressure. Yeah, or of course could be a name for a hill. In Rome. What is a hill? Of course, there's 7 hills in Rome. Are we expected to know their name? Or is it just Latin or Italian for hill? But I am wondering if we do the N for name, and then we have ALE somewhere, maybe the L there, or the L. Actually, I like the L there, because then we might have the AB ending, but I don't think so. Okay, no, I have no idea on that one. Let's get rid of that. Fateful day in Senate, that is ending early. Well, the Ides, of course, is a fateful day, the Ides of March. That is IE, which we have, and we have S for Senate, but I don't fully get that. No, so I'll leave it in for now, but don't really understand it. Measures, section of totem, possibly. No, don't get that. Destruction of capital, that's newsworthy. Oh, I think this is just a simple anagram, destruction indicating an anagram, and move the letters of capital around to get topical, newsworthy. Lone answer for New Orleans, more for Rome, for instance. Oh, there's a lot of Rome. I see it's in the next one. Oh, and then there's another one. A lot of Rome. Lone answer. A could be answer for New Orleans. Of course, it might be new, and then Orleans could be the town in France. And more, what is the French for more? Plus. Yeah, I don't know that. How about diva and demure megastar sharing mail? Oh, I'm wondering if it's going to be the name of a diva. And her name can mean demure megastar, but you have to overlap M for male. Yeah, maybe not. All right. Let's see. Name in hood for stadium. Oh, well, the first word for stadium, I thought it was arena. And so N is name, and you put that in an area, which could be called a hood, I suppose, short for neighborhood. I think that's right. God is object of American missions. Of course, I have to remember the S, I'm not 100% sure of. I was wondering about Deus is God, and we have American US, but how do we get the DE? Object of, so not sure about that one either. Place for events in Rome, mainly about America. So I think this is the circus, a place for events in Rome, and it's most of the word about for circa, most of that, and then America is US. So then would they use US in this one too? That seems unlikely. I think they would come up with a better clue, or just to switch it up a little bit. One bishop of Rome, like all associated with pride. Well, one bishop could be IB, although of course Bishop of Rome is Pope. I wonder if associated with pride could be something to do with lions. Leonine would be the adjective. Pope Leo, I mean, could it be Leo the Ninth? I do like the C something N beginning here. Crazy outing in Rome or New York, say, in touching relationship. Well, I wonder if we have to anagram outing and put it in something else. And when I see those letters with the starting C and it's something about touching, I'm thinking of contiguous. So New York, say, so again we have US, it's an example of somewhere. And then we have outing. In Rome, Rome could be CO. That's what we have left over. Not sure I fully understand that, but fairly confident. Let's try this one. Musical politician in Latin home, mostly rebuilt. What is I think the definition might be musical. And, oh, it might be the name of a musical. So what's an 8-letter musical with an I in the 4th position? Oklahoma, Brigadoon. No, not getting that. I'll be upset after start of conflict, since America is what produces it. Wow. So 5-5. That's funny. I don't know if it's just my browser, but the line that should show the division of 5-5 isn't showing up very clearly, unlike the dark line there for 16 down. Let's see what that is. Closely observe what's cut in middle of corn belt. Closely. Oh, I'm thinking it might be near something, because an ear of corn would be cut. Closely near, not near miss. No, no, not getting. In middle of corn. No, so it might end in ear or have ear somewhere else. Dulles or JFK, for example, spoke for forum, finally, in broken Latin. Well, there are airports. Can we get airports to work? A spoke for forum. No. Ooh, how about terminal? I can see we have TINAL is broken Latin, and then we have ERM. Forum finally is the M. How is ER spoke? Yeah, I don't get that, but I do like the rest of it. Ooh, here's a very long clue for a 4-letter word. Part of Star Wars character with little time for final notice. Part of Star Wars character. No, not getting that. Slangily eliminate Republican in company. A noted speaker. Tricky. Another reference to the Senate. So yeah, I think the setter, Brendan, has done a great job of having all these multiple references. Makes it feel quite thematic. Something created by senators, say, covering half of Utah. Wow, that one seems almost too short. And covering half of Utah might suggest we have maybe UT. Is it just something created is the definition? And then you have to some homophone for senators, maybe, or just senators in are an example of a more general thing. Something created. Product, but that's not it. No, not getting that. Reconstructed Incan material, one found in Peru, say. So we have 13 letters, an Incan material. Actually, that's easy to see, 5/8. So I think it's going to be an anagram of that. Let's see if the anagram helper can actually help us. One found in Peru, say. Oh, that's right there. Oh, something American? I think we have American. Now let's try it. I should be able to do it in my head, but it's Christmas. I'm not seeing. Oh, hold on. I have too many letters, don't I? Oh, yeah. I think the problem is with. Oh my goodness, how did I not see that? So I think it must be South American. So where am I going wrong with my? Yeah. Reconstructed Incan. Now I'm really confused. Yeah, there's obviously no L and an A to U. I mean, is it reconstructed itself? I'm very confused on that. Well, let me go ahead and check it. Okay, so that may be the problem. Yeah, the problem is with contiguous. So now let me try my. Oh, hold on, wrong. I'm on the wrong clue. Let's go back to this. There we go. Dear. Shuffle. Latin American, of course. Oh my goodness, should have got that. All right, so what now is crazy outing? I do like the contiguous part in touching relationship. Is there a word contiguate? New York say, oh, Rome or New York are examples of city. Now it makes sense. So you have city around the outside, then the anagram of outing inside it. Contiguity. I can't say I've ever heard the word, but of course it's obvious what it means. Oh my goodness, I really made a meal out of that, didn't I? Helps a number of Romans over troubles, also engulfing part of US. Helps a number. A number of Romans, of course, could be some Roman numerals. Over troubles. Also. Nope. Now our 5-5. I'll be upset after start of conflict, which is C. Since America is what produces it. Yeah, that U is, I think, going to be a help. Second last in a 5-letter word. All right, let's go and look for our downs. Name for hill. Under pressure, no. Our mesh section of a totem. Oh, section of totem, possibly. Ah, yes, so it's a hidden clue and it's musical tempos, measures. Well, I don't know. In a musical sense, a tempo is not a measure. I suppose in a broad sense, the measure, like how you measure the speed of the music, would be the tempo, but I question that. All right, now does this help us with our diva? I'm just trying to think of course, it may not be a musical. A megastar, of course, could also be an actual star. Who would that be? If we didn't have the I, Paula Abdul, but I don't think she's a diva. Anyway, let's see. Leader in Congress introducing a law about cigarette problem in fall. Leader in Congress would be the C, introducing A, and then law about cigarette problem. Or is it about cigarette, and then it's a problem in fall? I'm thinking it, what's the word? There's a fancy word for a waterfall, I think. Let me pause and look that up. Well, there is cataract. I think that's the one I was thinking of. Can we make... the cigarette problem is tar. What's the law then? Is, oh, an act, of course. A act. So funny. So now the diva has to be prima donna. I should have thought of that. Yes, and demure is prim, and then Madonna is the megastar, and sure enough, they do overlap on the M. I'm taking that as a good sign that I'm finally getting into, I think, some of their more out there word plays. So I think because I've seen this a few times before, the penny finally dropped. I just couldn't work out prima donna until I had the letters there. All right, lone answer for New Orleans, more for Rome, for instance. No, not getting that. Let's get rid of that. You. Something, oh, so I'm thinking of a statute, yes, is something created by senators. Oh, and then say is state. Oops, I think it's actually that T and that E. And I was right, actually, with the U covering half of Utah. All right, slowly but surely. Like some senators again, protest 50% of Arctic being taken over. Like some Senators. Oh, Democratic comes to mind. And we are going to have 50% of Arctic. Well, actually, I think we have all of Arctic. Oh, but 50% of it is taken over or flipped, and then the rest is as it should be. And then the protest, yeah, they often use this as a synonym for a protest, a demo. Do they still call them demos in Britain today? All right. Bottle used as weapon by Clint Eastwood. I don't know where to start with that one. I wonder if it could be a Clint Eastwood film, so by Clint Eastwood. Oh yeah, Magnum, of course. Oops, Magnum. Yes, that was the gun. And what was the one of his earlier films? All right, more for Rome. No, but there can't be too many words that fit that. Sam, for example, a Republican, that's iffy. I think it's going to mean iffy. I think it might end in AR, a Republican. And then maybe it's the last name of someone called Sam. Sam Neill, Sam Brown, Sam Malone. But iffy. Not peculiar, irregular. Iffy, I'm going to have to look up synonyms for that one, I think. Grieves, about middle of Louisiana, and perilous times. I think it's going to mean perilous times. And so a word for Grieves, the middle of Louisiana is just the S, I think. Well, it could be the ISI, but I think to have a word for Grieves, mourns, perilous times. No, I'm going to have to think about that one. Take a look at this one, and then I'm going to pause for a while. Sex in party set up for poet. So it's a good surface reading, but I think it's just going to be M or F in a word for party that is reversed, and it's going to give us the name of a poet. I'm thinking M is more likely. Ovid, though, is the only poet I can think of with 4 letters. But I do think it's going to be M or F. What would a short word for a party? Of course, they love using do, which you would have with Ovid. But how is VI sex? VI. Oh, yes, I think it is. I think it's vaginal intercourse. I should have warned you to cover the children's ears there, but I think that's what it is. Let's go ahead and check that. Yeah, all right. Not familiar with that abbreviation, but I worked it out. And now our part of Star Wars character with little time for final notice. Oh, Yes, so Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then the little chime is a T, and an obituary is final notice. All right, I'm going to pause it there and come back and finish this one way or another later. I think I'm going to end up clicking the reveal button a lot. Let's see how I do. Okay, it's after 6 o'clock, much later in the day. I have a few of these answers, but the others I think I'm just going to have to give up on. 14 across, this is very clever. Lone answer for New Orleans, more for Rome, for instance. Well, there's actually two examples of anagrams. I should have seen, of course, more is an obvious anagram of Rome, and lone answer is New Orleans. But it was really just seeing what words would fit. I got anagrams. Here, I was just thinking of a noted speaker, and I thought of Cicero. And we have co, or company, on the outside. We have to ice, which is slang for eliminating, I suppose, and then R for Republican. Let's see. Oh, yes. So I was just looking up synonyms for iffy. I did have to go for specific meanings, and unclear came up. And so, of course, Uncle Sam, with AR for a Republican. I mean, iffy to me means more dodgy or questionable, whereas unclear to me has a different meaning, but anyway, we'll allow it. It's Christmas. So how about, oh yeah, so here this one, perilous times, just looking at beginning with C. Excuse me, I thought of crises. My cough is a bit of a crisis, and so it's cries about the S. So now, let's see, musical politician in Latin home, mostly rebuilt. Yeah, no idea of that, so I'm going to go ahead and reveal that one. Yeah, so Hamilton was a musical. He was a politician. Yeah, so I think it's a double definition, if you like, or a politician in a musical. So it's most of Latin home minus the E, and then you rebuild it or anagram it. So I think then 16 down must be nota bene. So, God, what's cut in middle of corn belt? Closely observe is nota bene, but then I don't get what's cut in middle of corn belt. No, I don't get that at all. So here I'm thinking of the, is it casus belli, cause of war? I'll be upset. Oh yeah, so I'll be is upset. After start of conflict, since is as, and America is US. So funny they're using that twice. Now, helps a number of Romans over troubles, also engulfing part of US. So is it helps? I can see a word for helps would fit in there, but I can't think which one. And then a number of Romans. A X, A M, A C. Over troubles could be ails. Oh, I think it's avails. So it's helps as in helps oneself, maybe? Over troubles, but then where's the engulfing part of US? Yeah, maybe that's not right. It seems like we have too much definition there. But let's go ahead and check that one. It is right, but I don't completely understand it. All right, just the upper left. Name for hill in Rome in a Latin exam, initially under pressure. No, I have no idea of that. I'm going to go ahead and reveal it. Ah, the Palatine. I think that is a hill in Rome. I think the P at the start means all of this is under pressure. In a Latin exam, initially. Well, we have actually A-L-A-T-I-N-E in a Latin exam. Initially, I think meaning at the start of the phrase. Yeah, so I think that's pretty straightforward. All right, 10 across then is not Deus. God is, well, maybe it's a Roman or Greek god. I'm thinking of Mars because that was the object of some American space missions. If that's right, it seems a little weak of a clue to me, but who am I to say? Just some rando with a YouTube channel. All right, well, that's all of them. I did have to give up on a few. I probably, if I'd spent more time, might have thought of them. Anyway, let's go ahead and check all. Everything else seems to have stayed in place. All right, well, thank you for watching and have a great day.